Okay, thank you all for participating today. We are now joined by Brad Davison, and we'll begin the press conference. Use the raise hand function to indicate you would like to ask a question. When you are called on for your question, please state your name and affiliation first, because both the coach and the player will not be able to see the media. Okay, we'll get started. Jim Polson, why don't you start us off?
Jim Polzane from the Wisconsin State Journal. Brad, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's up, Jim?
Brad, you've said over the years that you came here to win NCAA tournament games, and this is a first for you, the first NCAA tournament win. Can you just describe how it feels?
Extremely special. That's why you come to Wisconsin, not only to compete for championships in the Big Ten, but to make a run in March in the NCAA tournament, and especially having that opportunity missed out on last year. This is so special. We're going to enjoy it, but also we know that we didn't come here to just win one. There's a lot more out there for us to get, and we're excited to get back to work. But we're going to enjoy this one tonight for sure.
Jay Portrikis.
Jeff Patrikas, Journal Sentinel. Brad, you guys talked over the last 4 games, 3 of them losses, that you felt you guys were playing better. I'm just curious if what we saw tonight, whether it was shooting, ball movement, keeping North Carolina off the offensive glass, if that was an example of what you guys had hoped to accomplish and what you were talking about.
Absolutely, all of the above. If you look at our last stretch of games, just about every single team is a 1 or a 2 seed in this NCAA tournament. So we knew we were playing against the best of the best. And even though we were losing those games, there's a lot of things that we were doing a lot better. Whether it was offensive motion, setting better screens, better on the defensive glass, all sorts of little things that we value in our program. We were taking exponential steps forward to ultimately prepare us for these moments now. So to have a game where we put it all out there to show and make a little statement, now we get to do it again on Sunday. That's the best part about it.
Okay, George from NBC 15.
Yeah, George Black, NBC 15 in Madison. Brad, what kind of statement do you think tonight made with you guys going out, playing your game, changing up your lineup a little bit with 2 bigs, but just dominating in every facet of the game as well?
Man, I think everyone's going to kind of make up their own statement, but for us, that we're here to make an impact and make a run in this tournament. What you go through in the regular season, all the ups and downs and the hills and valleys, it's what meshes you together and binds you together and prepares you for these moments. Like I said, this is why you come to Wisconsin, for these moments right here. So we're going to soak it up and then get back to work.
All right, Steve from the Associated Press.
Steve McGargy.
Again on Sunday. That's the best.
Steve McGargy, Associated Press. I was just wondering, you talked about how a lot of your last few games have been against 1 seeds or 2 seeds. How much did it help, if at all, just to get out of the Big Ten, play somebody from another conference, get that fresh start out of league play?
It's exciting. It's fun. Especially being a senior-laden team, we have a lot of guys that have played a lot of games in the Big Ten, against those players and against those systems. So to have the opportunity to play against, a blue blood school team, a program that has such great tradition, we were all really excited for the opportunity, and it was refreshing to play somebody new.
All right, Sam King.
Brad, you talked about the NCAA tournament win, but also this has been a place where Wisconsin has not done very well. I don't think you've ever won in this gym, and I think Wisconsin's 4-42 all time. So just to get Coach Garda's first win in Mackey Arena, to get a win in Mackey Arena, how big of a deal is this for Wisconsin?
A win's a win. An NCAA tournament win is an NCAA tournament win, no matter what site you're playing at. But to see some shots go in and to play the way we did in Mackey, hopefully it'll carry some momentum into next year.
Hi, Brad. You talked about, getting away from the Big Ten as a team. How about you personally? Did you notice things out on the court that maybe you haven't seen in the last couple of months?
Just new players, new systems, new offensive sets, new defensive tendencies. So just try to take advantage of them.
Josh Schaefer.
Josh Schaefer, Badger 24/7. Yeah, Brad, I know you've talked a decent amount this year about kind of averages average out, right? And eventually those shots were going to fall for you guys. I guess do you feel like this was kind of an example of that, of getting those shots to fall? And how dangerous do you think this team is when you guys are shooting that way offensively?
We practice with each other every day. Whether it was in the summer, fall, during the season, so we know how talented of shooters we have, especially when people get rolling. That's one thing with shooting is that it's very contagious. So we know how good we can be. We all trust each other and we all trust our shots. So again, we're looking forward to getting back out there together on Sunday.
Okay, Lance Allen.
There you go, Brad. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Lance Allen from WTMJ TV. Just your performance. Was it the Full House spoof? Was it something you ate? Was it just the will to not let this season end? What was it tonight?
Probably a combination of everything, but I would say my favorite part was having fans back in the stands. Even though it was a limited amount, just the energy they bring. We had a student section there up top. We had our family members there. We had some friends there. At the end of the day, basketball is basketball, but that's what it's really about. So just super thankful to be able to have fans in the stands because that's what makes March. Yes, the basketball is great, but the memories and relationships that you get with your family members, with your teammates, and ultimately, even interacting with the fans, it's hard not to get excited and not play with energy when you got fans in the stands. So super thankful that they're back in there.
Raul Vasquez.
Hey, Brad, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Gotcha. Raul Vasquez with Badger Blitz. I was curious, you guys seem to come out with a whole ton of juice, whether it was rebounding well or just kind of being connected on offensive end. Just curious, what would you attribute that to? Where did that kind of come from?
I don't know. Maybe we've been cooped up in Indy for a while, spending a lot of time with each other, whether it's playing games or just hanging out. And we've had a lot of practices, to prepare for this game, but ultimately to prepare for this tournament. So, playing on Friday and being here all week, it's just kind of built momentum, and energy for these moments. So to go out there and play the way that we did, it was awesome. And like I said, we're not finished yet, though. We're looking forward to Sunday.
Lori Nickel.
Hey, Brad, Lori Nickel from the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. A quick two-parter. I wondered how much your defense actually fueled that offense early, especially in the first half. You guys forced turnovers and you had blocked shots. And then the second part, is this the most complete game that you guys have been searching for since January?
Absolutely. I thought our defense was great in the first half. Forcing turnovers, block shots, but also limiting them to, one shot and really get on the glass because then ultimately you can create disadvantages for them and take advantage of getting out in transition and getting easy shots. So definitely, we always say that, good defense leads to great offense. That's something we try to hang our hat on. And then your second question was?
Complete game.
Oh, definitely. I think we played for 40 minutes. There was some defensive lapses there in the second half where their bigs were getting downhill or getting good position. But you know what? In March, when you're up by a lot, teams are going to try to come back, and you gotta take their punches. You kind of got to roll with them, but you got to throw some back. So thought we did a great job of, playing. Might not always play a complete 40 minutes of playing, as complete a game as we can. But like I said, we got to do it again Sunday.
Darius.
Hey, Brad, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
The seniors had, I think, 75 of the 85 points for you guys tonight. What is it about your class? You guys have been through a lot over the last 4 years, and 5 years for a couple of you guys. What is it about your class that stepped up in this game with your backs on the wall?
Yeah, I think you hit on the head. We've been through a lot. Obviously basketball has its highs and lows, but off the court too, as well. Just dealing with adversity and different trials and tribulations is what knits you together and forms you, a together team. And so when you've had your backs up against the wall in the past, that when it's win or go home, especially with the senior group, we want every opportunity we can to not only play more games, but to get to spend more time with each other. So we wanted to take advantage of that. And again, like I said, we had a lot of success last year. We were looking forward to these moments in March, but we didn't get that chance. So to be here now, regardless of what our rank is, regardless of how this year's gone, all the highs and lows, we want to take advantage of this opportunity because we'll never take it for granted.
Okay, if I missed anything, we've got about another 2 minutes. If I could, I got to scroll back up here. Sorry. I'm struggling with this new laptop. I apologize. All right, Jim.
You got me, Brad?
Yep, I got you.
Yep, Jim Polzine from the State Journal. There was a stretch late in the first half. You drove and missed a shot, and then Walton got a 3 in transition to cut it to 8. But then you scored the last 8 of the first half. Did you think that was a pretty crucial stretch? Obviously, I mean, going into halftime with single-digit lead as opposed to a 16-point lead is pretty big. I'm just curious what you thought of that last 2 minutes.
You know, I think every possession in March is crucial. You know, that's what it usually comes down to is one possession game. So you got to make sure you're locked in and make the most of every possession. But we always talk about finishing halves and starting halves, you know, the way we want to. So I think every possession is crucial.
Stand again, but Joe Petrikis.
Jeff Petrikis, Journal Sentinel. Brad, I'm sure you guys, the emphasis coming in was keep North Carolina off the offensive glass. I know you guys were challenged. How would you rate the job everybody did? Not just but the bigs, but everybody, including you and Trice.
Yeah, obviously, you know, with them playing 2 bigs and having more bigs come off the bench, a lot of their production comes on the offensive glass. So I thought we did a great job. Obviously, our big guys did a great job boxing out. Even Steven getting in there for a couple minutes and boxing out and cleaning up the glass. That's huge. You know, that's the best thing about March playing these new teams. It's gonna be something different and someone different every game. So I thought we did a really good job of that. I'm not sure what the statistics are, but you know, I thought our effort was really, really good on that end of the floor.
Thank you, Brad. Congratulations on your win, and thank you for your time, and best of luck in the next round. We'll be joined momentarily by Coach
Thank you guys.
Guard.
Appreciate you.
Please use this time to raise or lower your hand as necessary. Okay, Jeff, I've learned your first name. I still have no idea how to say your last, so go ahead and fire away. Jeff, are you there?
Okay, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I got you, Jeff.
Oh, all right, great. Yeah, Jeff Petrikis, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Greg, we talked during the week, obviously, about rebounding. I know you guys hit a lot of threes tonight, but how important was your work by everybody on the glass on both ends of the court?
Yeah, that was crucial. Obviously, they're the #1 offensive rebounding team in the country, and you know, I thought defensively we were really good for the most part. You know, they got to the rim a few times, and but on the glass, I thought by and large we were doing what we were supposed to do, and we got contributions from not only the 4s and 5s, but the others that were able to get into the mix and clean up some of that. But that was obviously big. That was a big piece of our plan.
All right, Tom Oates.
Jeff, or excuse me, Greg. You got me going there with the Petrikis thing. Greg, you know, a lot of people, the players have talked about getting away from the Big Ten. I think everybody loves to get away from the Big Ten at this time of year because it's such a grind. But how do you think? Do you think Brad really thrived being away from the Big Ten and getting his game going the way he did tonight?
Well, obviously he did. I think that, but also I think part of it is, you know, a senior leader coming into this event, and you know, really good players have a tendency to elevate their game at this time of year. And as he mentioned, he didn't get a chance, or the team didn't get a chance to play in this last year when we were rolling along pretty well. So I think that has added an extra incentive that we've gotten to this point right now with postseason play, and we've talked all along that, you know, remember, we didn't have this last year, so let's embrace it, let's make the most of it, let's have fun with it, and obviously he was having some fun out there tonight along with his teammates.
Josh Schaefer.
Josh Schaefer, Badger 24/7. Yeah, Greg, I was just going to ask about Brad and Demetra combined. I think they had 50 for you guys out of the 82 total. Just what did they provide, and what does that provide for you guys when the guards can score like that and shoot the ball from deep?
Well, I mean, those are 2 experienced guards, so they've had a lot of possessions together. They've been in a lot of situations, you know, and obviously given the fact that Carolina was so big at the rim, that we were going to have some scoring from the backcourt, and I felt that was important. We were able to. They got going early. I thought they got into rhythm. They were aggressive, which we had talked about a lot during the week. Stay aggressive, and as they've mentioned, see the ball go in, and that becomes contagious. And I think that they were both, like I said, really determined tonight. You could tell just in their preparation and their and the look in their eyes tonight that they were going to make sure we were going to take care of this thing once we got that lead.
Okay, Sam King.
Greg, Sam King, Journal and Courier. Even though there weren't a lot of fans, it was a very pro-Wisconsin fan base tonight, which is very uncommon for this venue. Can you just kind of talk about playing in Mackey and the differences from obviously when it's a very pro-Purdue crowd and a tough place to win versus today where it's not very many fans and a lot of Wisconsin fans that are here?
Yeah, I think, Brad alluded to that. We've played most of the year with little or no fans, and I think that atmosphere, that part of the experience for the student athletes is noticeably missing. So when you add just a few into the crowd, that makes a difference. That adds life to the building. Obviously we've been in here earlier this year and had a tight game with Purdue, but I think it just adds to the experience, which these guys, all they've had to go through to pull this off and to navigate through the season in by and large lifeless buildings. I think this is another part of the reward at this time of year to get to play in postseason play, but also have more fans, more noise, more atmosphere in a building. That's why they draw off that, they feed off of that, and that's part of the experience that unfortunately wasn't part of this season.
Okay, George from NBC 15.
Yeah, George Bilecki, NBC 15 Madison. Greg, what statement do you think tonight made for your team? Coming in underrated, underseeded, the mismatches were there in favors of UNC, but for them to come out and dominate front to end and play better offensively in the second half, what was the statement made by you guys?
Well, George, I never get caught up in the seeds. Really, as I told the team on Sunday, or even Friday at the Big Ten tournament, I've been part of teams that have been 1s all the way to 12s, and really, once that comes out, that determines what color jersey you're going to wear, light or dark. But you can erase the numbers then, and everybody's. It's so competitive. There's a lot of parity. So for this, I didn't really get caught up in where we were seated or where we weren't seated. We just need to prepare well and play, and these guys did a terrific job of preparing for the 3 or 4 days that we worked on North Carolina, and obviously played a really complete game.
Okay, Laurie Nickel.
Lori Nickel with the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Congratulations. There were so many positives that came from this: the hot shooting, the rim protection, protecting possessions, and you mentioned the complete game offensively. What will be essential to carry over 2 days from now, just 2 days when you take on Baylor?
Well, Lori, I'm going to enjoy this for a little bit tonight before I start watching Baylor, and they're obviously phenomenal. So it goes from playing a really good team to playing one of the nation's best. So to be honest with you, I'll learn more tonight as I watch film about Baylor, but obviously we'll have to play really well, and but I want these guys to enjoy this tonight. As I told them, we'll give them all the Baylor information they want starting tomorrow with practice, and we know we have to play well. We have great respect for North Carolina. Coach Williams has been a phenomenal coach through his career, a Hall of Famer. He had great things to say before and after the game about our program, which I really respect and appreciate his comments that he made to me, and obviously Baylor coming next is going to be a huge task, but I know our guys are excited. They're ready for the next one, and we'll have that on Sunday.
Thank you.
Okay, Raul Vasquez.
Hey, Greg, you got me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Oh, Raul Vasquez, Badger Blitz. I was just curious. When a guy like Brad Davison goes off, he's kind of like the emotional leader for you guys. But obviously, it's never a bad thing when someone on the team can not miss. But I'm curious if it's a little different when an emotional leader like Brad goes off as opposed to maybe anyone else on the team. If it sparks a little plug more.
I don't know if it sparks it more. I think, you know, the team rallies around Brad. It rallies around anybody. We've had other guys that have had those type of games, you know, where the basket looks like the ocean. But they support him. He is our emotional leader. He is our, you know, kind of the cement between the bricks, so to speak, and the epicenter of what we do from that standpoint. But I know our guys would appreciate anybody having those type of games, which they have shown, you know, during the course of whether it's been this year or through other players' careers. It's a very connected group and a very together group, and they, you know, enjoy. There's a lot of happiness when teammates have success.
Okay, Jim Polzine.
Greg, you've said a couple. Greg, Jim Polzine from the Wisconsin State Journal. You said a couple times in the past couple weeks that you thought the movement on offense was better. The cutting was more sharper. Tonight, I think it looked even maybe as good as it's been the last couple weeks. Would you agree with that? Did you like the way you moved on offense?
Yeah, I did, and obviously it helps and it makes it always look better when the ball goes in, Jim. So, but I thought we did. We handled. I thought we took care of the ball for the most part pretty well. I thought we kept our spacing. We didn't over dribble, which was obviously an emphasis coming in because of how they can trap and do some double teams and things like that. So we wanted to make sure that we had good spacing and screened well and cut hard, and our players did a good job of sharing the ball. We found teammates at the rim off cuts at times, and we were able to handle some of the pressure that they applied, and were able to capitalize on that at times. So, yeah, all in all, obviously making shots helps that, but really happy for our team because they played very unselfish.
We've got about 3 minutes left with Coach. If anybody has a follow-up, please raise their hand. I see Lori's hand up.
Coach, this is the first time you've been able to take your upperclassmen to the NCAA tournament. Last year, there was no tournament. Now you have your seniors, especially, you know, the ball handlers. Is that still essential at this time of year, or is it just really just about talent and scheme? I mean, the poise and the veteran, you play the pace you want. It seems like it's an advantage.
Well, you hoped it's an advantage, and obviously you still got to go play. You know, you can throw. Experience does matter, but you still got to perform in the 40 minutes, and that's really all we focused on was really 20 minutes before the game. We talked about the first half, how we wanted to play that, and I said we'll talk about the second half and make adjustments when I come back in here next time. So let's just focus on the 20, and I thought our guys did a really good job. Everybody has stepped on the floor, even, you know, young Steven Crowell for the couple minutes he got in the first half. Everybody was locked in and connected and played well together.
Okay, Jeff.
Okay, I'm here. Sorry about that. Jeff Patricus, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Greg, momentum can be fleeting sometimes because you always say it's all about the next 40 minutes, but is it too simplistic to say this was a little bit of a carryover from what happened the last 4 games when you guys said you felt better about the way you were playing?
Yes, definitely, Jeff. I think I sensed it with how we were playing. I sensed it how we were practicing. Obviously, our league has been phenomenal, and it was such a grind to go through, specifically the schedule we had down the stretch. Obviously, the schedule maker must not like me or us, but it prepared us and it tested us as we came down the stretch of the Big Ten, and thankfully it prepared us for this and being ready to take steps forward at the end of the year. Even though maybe we didn't get the results we wanted, I thought things were trending the right way if they would just stick to it and stay the course. And obviously I'm happy that they did and proud of them for how they have continued to battle through, you know, a strenuous schedule and get to this point and have an opportunity to play here and really proud of how well they played.
Okay, the last question of the night for Coach goes to Raul Vasquez.
Raul Vasquez with Badger Blitz. Hey, Greg, as I mentioned earlier about with Brad shooting and his hot hand that he had, it'll be tough for him and the rest of the team to replicate the clip that you guys made shots tonight. I'm curious what you like that you guys did well that you could carry over to Sunday, even if you guys aren't shooting as well.
Well, I thought we defended pretty well, Raul. I thought we rebounded well. We took care of the ball. You know, we don't really talk about making shots. You know, we talk about defending, rebounding, and taking care of the ball. And then the other parts of the game have a tendency to fall into place. But if we can be consistent with what we can do defensively, and obviously minimizing second shots, which we did tonight pretty well, and then obviously valuing possessions and taking care of the ball. Those are really the three primary, you know, foundational pieces we talk about the most. And because shooting can be fleeting, as we've seen through this year, there's going to be nights that you have a hard time scoring, and then there's nights like tonight. But to making sure we have or are consistent in those other areas of defending, rebounding, and taking care of the ball.
Okay, Coach, thank you for your time. Congratulations on the win and good luck on Sunday.
All right, thank you.
Okay, folks, that's it for the post-game news conference. A transcript of Coach's interview will be provided by ASAP Sports and posted along with a recording of this press conference in the NCAA